Hi! Welcome to MotaWord Drupal Translation Module Setup video. In this video, we will cover the installation of Drupal Translation Module, the modules that you need to enable before installing MotaWord module, enabling multiple languages and adding a new language on Drupal, setup of MotaWord provider modules for TM/GMT Translation Management module, how to translate your content via MotaWord module, and publishing translated content. Installation of the Drupal Translation module. MotaWord module uses the popular TM/GMT translation module to get you set up. Firstly, visit the Drupal TM/GMT module add-on website. Scroll down to the download section, copy the link of the tar.gz file. Then, place that URL into the Drupal new module installation page and click Install. Drupal will now install the Drupal Translation module. Then we will be able to see it in the list of the modules that are installed in our Drupal system. The modules that you need to enable before installing MotaWord module. Next step is to enable some of the modules that are necessary to enable the translation of our content and also use the MotaWord module with it. Let's enable config entity source, content entity source, locale source, translation language abilities, and translation management core modules. These modules will enable some additional modules automatically, enabling multiple languages and adding a new language on Drupal. Now that we have installed several modules to enable our translation workflow, let's add a new language to our system if we haven't already. To enable multiple languages, we need to have at least 2 languages in our system. Let's click that link in the notification and add a new language. Here, choose your second language. This might take a little bit of time as a Drupal system is downloading default system translations for the language you picked. Now, your admin panel will appear in that language thanks to these translations being downloaded. When you change your language on your front website, it also changes your admin language. The new language we picked is now active and can be used in our new posts and articles. Let's go to the structure page to enable multiple languages and translations for our content types. In default Drupal installation, we only have 2 content types, article and basic page. Let's edit the content type. Go to language settings and click enable translation and then save our content type. Let's do the same for the basic page or any other content type that you have. Click language settings. Click Show Language Selector on Create and Edit Pages and then check to enable the translation and save. Setup of the MotaWord TM/GMT module. Now it's time to install the MotaWord module. Let's go to the TM/GMT MW add-on page, which stands for Translation Management MotaWord module page. We will copy the module zip files URL, which you can find once you click View All Releases and then pick your Drupal version. MotaWord module supports Drupal versions 7, 8, and 9. Let's go to the latest version which we're using for this demo. Copy the URL for downloading the tar.gz file and install the new module in the Drupal admin panel. We will now enable the MotaWord translator module for a translation management system. Check the MotaWord translator module and click Install. Continue and it will enable the necessary modules that it needs for itself. We now have all the modules that are necessary to use MotaWord in your multilingual website. Let's click on the translation page and see what kind of options we have. We have job items, providers, jobs, sources, and such. Let's go to the providers option and we will see MotaWord as a translation provider. Let's click Edit. We need to configure some of the options here. MotaWord module uses our MotaWord API to talk to your MotaWord account. For this, you will need a developer account. The developer account at MotaWord lets you create apps, as we call them, which lets you access your MotaWord account in a programmatic way. Let's create an app or use an existing app. We will use a client ID and client secret from our MotaWord application. We will copy that information back into our Drupal MotaWord module settings page. Go to your application inside MotaWord Developer Portal and then click View Keys. Here you can see your application ID and application secret key. Let's go back to our Drupal page where we were editing the MotaWord translation provider. Let's copy our app ID and paste it in the place of the MotaWord API client ID. And then copy our secret key and then paste it into the MotaWord API client secret field. Here you can also enable the use of the sandbox option and then save. Sandbox option allows you to use MotaWord integration with your Drupal system without actually ordering any translations. It is especially useful during the testing of your translation workflow. How to translate your content via MotaWord module. Let's go to our content page and check some of the pages. We have an About Us page, which is currently in English. And this is our home page, which only has one post called About Us. Let's go to the translation panel again. Click on Page, which lists our content. Select the About Us page and then select our target language. We now have French as a target language. And then click Request Translation. Here you need to choose MotaWord as a provider for the translation of this page. Once you pick MotaWord, the MotaWord system will tell you how many words it's reading in your content, and then it will tell you the price and the delivery date. Click Submit to the provider to start your translation. If you enable Sandbox mode in your provider settings of the MotaWord module, we will not actually work on your translation, and we will not charge you. Now your job has been successfully submitted for translation, and our over 20,000 translators will start working on it immediately. You can track your project if you go to the job details and see the job messages panel. We only have one message for the successful submission of our translation request. That is your project ID, which you can use to monitor the progress in your client dashboard on MotaWord website or mobile app. Let's go back to your MotaWord.com panel. Click on My Projects, which gets you into your client dashboard, and here we can see the project that we just submitted from our Drupal content management system. Client Dashboard allows you to view your projects, view your documents, track their progress, submit comments to translators for style management, glossaries or terminology management, see your cost reports, see your savings, and many other functionalities. We recommend you to take a tour of your Client Dashboard and familiarize yourself. Here is our project. That was 14 words. I can download this project from my Client Dashboard or just simply let the MotaWord plugin module synchronize it back to my Drupal system. Our translators have already started working on this. And again, you don't need to download anything from your MotaWord Client Dashboard. You're able to, but you don't need to. Once your translation is complete, MotaWord will automatically synchronize the translations back into your Drupal system, which we will see in a moment. Now that we've worked on your translations, you will have some updates on your message list here inside the job details. Your project has been translated, and now we're working on its proofreading. Once the proofreading is done, we will complete the project on our site. And once we complete the project, you can see the progress and milestones in your messages. Publishing the translated content. Now that we have completed your project, the translation is being done, the proofreading is being done, and we have automatically synchronized your translation back to your Drupal system. Here we have an option to review the translations before publishing them. You can see how we translated the title of your post and how we translated the body of your post. Once everything looks fine to you, click Save as Completed. Your post on your page is now published in your target language. Let's click that link to view our content in French. Here is our French content translated by MotaWord and automatically synchronized back to our system. Let's go back to our structure panel and go to the blog layout. We will now enable language selection on our front website because the default Drupal theme does not have a language switcher. Let's add our new language switcher to our sidebar. Once you click Place Block, you will have a list of blocks. Click Language Switcher and click Place Block. You don't need to select any languages in here. It will then list all of the languages enabled in your system. We now have a language switcher on our sidebar. Let's refresh our page and see the language switching option. Let's click English to switch to the English version of our page. Let's click French to go back to the French version. When I go back to my home page, I arrive at our French page as it was the last language I selected. I can now switch back to the English again, and our homepage will be visible in English. Once you install our module, follow these easy steps to get started with our Drupal module. Install Translation Management (TMGMT) module. Enable the required modules. Then install the MotaWord module, which works as a provider for the translation module. Once you install the MotaWord module, you should use your API client ID and keys from your MotaWord developer portal. To learn more about how to become a developer on the MotaWord portal and create an application for yourself, let us know or come chat with us on our website. You're now ready to send your translations to MotaWord.